Okay, so good morning and welcome. It is very glad to meet you all. My name is Rob. I hope that you can both hear me and understand me because I'm British. It is very good to have you all here. So a very warm welcome to this, the grand finale of Ocean Hackathon 2021. So here you all are, here at Oceanopolis, the Brest Ocean Discovery Park, the very beating heart of the Brest oceanographic world. Some of you are probably aware that Oceanopolis is actually managed by Brest AIM, and I would now like to invite Nathalie Perron-Lecourt, the Director of Ocean Activities at Brest M, to come on stage and say a few words. Thank you, Nathalie.
Can you hear me? Oh, much better. Thank you, Rob. Well, my team and I are very pleased to host today the grand final of the Ocean Hackathon organized by the Seaward Campus as a partner of this hackathon and also as a member of the Seaward Campus community. Thank you to Jeremy, to Juliette and the entire team for choosing this place today. And I'd like to welcome all of you here today in presential with us and all the people connected online as well. I take on the opportunity to present you a little bit. So what is Oceanopolis? Oceanopolis is the National Center of Scientific Culture dedicated to the ocean, welcoming 430,000 visitors a year. This space has been founded in 1990 by two scientists and has since been committed in creating the link between science and society. Our purpose is to change the way we look at the ocean. Very often, people look at the ocean as a destination for leisure, a resource for food, but we all know that it's much more than this. To deliver our purpose, we have been, over these 30 past years, committed and involved in research programs with a lot of scientific partners. We established very strong and tight partnership with schools through the Ocean School. We train teachers. We organize classes for nearly 35,000 pupils per year. And all our job to make sure that we make people aware of the essential role of the ocean on the earth, that we can deliver properly our message requires from us a lot of innovation and creativity to find new ways to deliver the best impactful message as we can. Innovation, creativity, getting out of the box, finding out new solutions, breaking the rules. I think this is exactly what today's agenda is about. So as a member of the jury, and I think this is the case for all the members, I'm really impatient to listen to you. I'd like to wish all participants to this hackathon, good luck, and wish you to enjoy this day. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed for your words, Nathalie. So, some of you are probably aware that this, the grand finale, is organized by Campus Mondial de la Mer. In fact, the whole of the hackathon is organized by this organization. Campus Mondial de la Mer encourages sharing, the use of new digital technologies, and above all, a spirit of entrepreneurialism. With this in mind, I now invite Jeremy Bazin, head of the Campus Mondial de la Mer, to come on stage and also say a few words. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Rob, and first thank you, Nathalie, for your kind words and for welcoming us at Oceanopolis, this emblematic place of knowledge of the oceans. Thank you also because Oceanopolis is an ambassador of Ocean Hackathon 2021. So I'm happy to be here in person, disappointed that, of course, everyone was not able to come to our beautiful city of Brest, yet very happy to see participation and participants remotely. About the campus, it is the first French community of marine sciences and technology players, from Roscoff to Concarneau, from Morlaix to Quimper, and of course in Brest, our territory at the tip of Brittany, at the tip of France, is full of actors and expertise in the marine and maritime fields. Some of you will be able to discover some of our players, Ifremer, Cèdre, later on. In a few figures, Finistère, it represents 40,000 maritime jobs within 2,700 establishments. It means an average of 1,000 scientific publications per year. It also means many students trained, notably at the University of Brest, and schools such as the IMT Atlantic and ENSTA Bretagne, but also the Naval Academy. On the campus territory in Finistère, we find the main headquarters of national establishments related to the maritime sector, including Ifremer, including the CHOM, the Hydrographic Center, including the Cèdre, the Pôle-Mer Bretagne Atlantic, the Marine Energy Institute, but also the Maritime Security, the French Maritime Center in cybersecurity. So the campus is a territorial dynamic for marine sciences and technologies, financed by Brest Métropole and the Brittany region, and supported and led by the Brest Science Park. It implements actions that aim at bringing together individuals locally, at supporting the development of innovative projects, but also at making sure that the territory's expertise is better known internationally and develop new and support the creation of new startups, and the fact that people and events are coming here in Brest and around. Among the actions we are carrying out, there is of course Ocean Hackathon. It is an action that we imagined in 2015 and that we organized for the first time in 2016. At that time, we brought together 60 team members and few coaches, including the CHOM and an early partner of the Ocean Hackathon, around 6 challenges. What a long way we have come. Why did we imagine Ocean Hackathon? In fact, it's quite simple, because many players in Brest and around collect data and want this data to be used more widely than what it was collected for. Also because Brest is the home to many digital skills, and particularly in terms of data processing. Finally, because we see Ocean Hackathon as a great place to imagine new products, new services, new innovations in connections with the ocean, with the sea. And because, of course, because Ocean Hackathon is a new way to support the development, the creation of new products and services. After the third edition of Ocean Hackathon at the end of 2018, we thought about developing a national network of Ocean Hackathon cities in order to share our expertise and propose to other cities to host Ocean Hackathon at the same time as us. We were thus able to count on Champs-sur-Marne, on Cherbourg, Dinan, La Rochelle, Sète, Toulon, but also Mexico City, which took part in 2019, and Mexico City's participation encouraged us to think a little further ahead in 2020 in a complicated health context, and then this year with the participation of Champs-sur-Marne, Fort-de-France, La Rochelle, Nouméa, Sète, and Toulon, and 6 international cities, Cape Town, San Francisco, Santiago de Chile, Split, Cadiz, and Mexico City. So this is a great dynamic that has been launched and that we must maintain for the years to come, starting in 2022, in order to continue to encourage the development of maritime innovations. So Ocean Hackathon is obviously not done alone, and I wanted to thank the ambassadors of this 2021 edition, Emonnet, Ifremer, Météo France, the French Biodiversity Office, the CHOM, the Cèdre, the French Maritime Cluster, the Village by CA, the Ministry of the Sea, and of course Oceanopolis. I would also like to thank all the partners providing data, the CEREMA, CLS, Copernicus Marine Service, Emonnet, the French Office for the Biodiversity, Ifremer, the University of Brest, IUIM and the laboratory LETG, CNRS, University of Le Havre, Mercator Océan, Météo France, Ocean Data Lab, the CHOM team, UMS Patrina, and WKO. Of course, I would like to thank as well the referents of the cities that participated, the participants, those who have come from far away, those who participate remotely as well, of course, the three sponsors of the grand final, Allianz, the Société Générale, and Microsoft, and of course, the Technopole team, Juliette on the general coordination, Alice on the coordination of the data part, Julien on the communication aspects, Mathilde on the organizational support, but also the entrepreneurship department, which was mobilized to support the teams from a business point of view. In the Brest edition, Hélène, Erwan, Pauline, Glenn, Alexia, and Corinne, but also all the coaches, whether they are business or data support related, who were mobilized during the Ocean Hackathon weekend in Brest, and not forgetting, of course, the Technopole Secretariat, Véronique, Sandra, and Maëlys. In conclusion, I wish all the teams a great pitch. I will have the pleasure to award the third team this afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, still at Oceanopolis in the same auditorium, for our General Assembly, which will take place from 9:30 to 12:30 p.m. We will have also the opportunity within the assembly to listen to the three winning pitches of this grand final. I think I've been too long, but thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much indeed, Jeremy. So now to the important part. How will this morning work? Okay. So first of all, I would like to give all our thanks to our members of the jury who will be responsible for scoring our 14 teams this morning. Very important job. They are either online or here, okay, in the front row. Here is the jury, okay? So welcome. They are obviously very impatient and really looking forward to hearing all of your pitches today. So just to break everything down a little bit, for those who are new to the Hackathon judging process, the jury consists of both Ocean Hackathon ambassadors and advisors, the advisors being the local organisers of Ocean Hackathon in their own individual cities. So each member of the jury will evaluate each project team according to the following points. Very, very important. You will be awarded 4 points for the clarity of the pitch. You will be awarded 4 points for the demonstration and the explanation of the data that you have used. You will be awarded 4 points for your identification of the problem to be solved and the way you present its place and role in the business model. You will also be awarded 4 points for the dynamism and originality of your pitch. And certainly last year there were some very original pitches. And very important, you will be awarded 2 points for respecting the 5-minute time limit. 5 minutes, yep. Okay, so that's another 2 points. Finally, you will be awarded 2 points for involving the whole team in the project. Even if your whole team isn't present here today or it is not online, please make sure you introduce everybody on your team, okay, so that everybody's been included. That's very, very important. So far, so good. Just some other points about the process this morning. Please remember that jury advisors cannot vote for their own city, okay? When we come to choosing our 3 winners, their placing will be based on the Hackathon evaluation grid, the same grid that was used last year, and each jury will use this grid to identify his or her 3 best teams, okay? The 3 winning teams chosen by each jury ambassador will be allocated 5 points for the first team, 3 points for the second team, and 1 point for the third team. The 3 winning teams selected by each jury advisor will be allocated 3 points for the first team, 2 points for the second team, and 1 point for the third team. Finally, the nomination of the 3 winning teams for this, the grand finale of Ocean Hackathon 2021, will be based on the sum of all the points given by all members of the jury, both here in person and our jury members online. Okay? So, while I let you mull over and think about the judging system that I've just presented to you, we will now like to welcome online our sponsor, Allianz, which is today represented by Heidi Hellinger-Bauer, Head of Sustainable Operations for Allianz. Mrs. Hellinger-Bauer, are you there, please?
I'm there. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Perfect. I hope you can hear me and see me. Wonderful. So, so then thanks a lot for introducing me and for having me at this event. And a very warm welcome also from my side to all the participants of this year's Ocean Hackathon, as well as, of course, to the entire team of Campus Mondial de la Mer, who do not only organize this hackathon, but generally engage enormously to protect our oceans. So most of our Allianz colleagues know this, but among you, there might be many who don't. The oceans are a topic very close to the heart of one of our board members, Barbara Carothelle. And unfortunately, she can't be here today. But she's a passionate diver and has seen the plastic pollution underwater with her own eyes. I as well saw and still see the pollution and the threat of the global environment are very real. And this is basically why we are personally driving the topic of protecting the oceans at Allianz a lot. So within Allianz, we highly appreciate the engagement of organizations like Mondial de la Mer, as well as the individual engagement of all of you who participated in the hackathon and invested time and brain to develop ideas to keep our oceans healthy and alive. And I guess everybody participating in today's event, one thing is crystal clear. Protecting our oceans is essential to fight climate change. It is as important as fighting the production of greenhouse gases, not least because the oceans are our biggest carbon sink, absorbing the majority of CO2, which they can only do when they are full of life, and there is no getting around this. And let me say a couple of words on why our group, the Allianz Group, is committed to protecting oceans and why we decided to partner with Mondial de la Mer and to sponsor the Oceans Hackathon. We are globally 1 million customers. We are one of the largest financial service providers in the world. And our purpose is we secure your future, which basically expresses why we exist. This is not only about insurance or providing financial security. We secure your future also means that sustainability in all its dimensions is a priority for the entire Allianz Group, including all our employees. We believe that sustainability is the best way to realize our potential for growth and value creation. And without a healthy planet, we won't be able to do any business in the future. It's as simple as that. And yes, we all need a healthy planet to ensure the continued existence of plants, animals, and humanity. So we are very much committed to fighting climate change. And as I mentioned before, this also means protecting the oceans. And I can proudly say, we are not only committing, but we are acting. So in my area of responsibility, which is operations and IT of the entire Allianz Group, we focus on minimizing the environmental impact of our own operations and IT. We look carefully at the energy we're consuming to enable our data-driven business. We set ourselves hard targets with regards to green energy, paper and waste consumption, as well as travel reduction. We also develop and implement more sustainable processes and products for our customers. For example, paperless communication, repair instead of replace campaigns in claims, and so on. We are very conscious about the carbon footprint of our company, and we work very hard to reduce it. With regards to protecting the oceans, we already have a partnership I'm personally very proud of, and I'm wearing the shirt. I don't know if you can see it. We partner with Sea Shepherd. It's an NGO that fights illegal fishing worldwide. We sponsor a ship in their fleet, the Sea Eagle. You might know Allianz logo is basically an eagle. And if we are simple, and it's simplified today, so its particular mission is to fight plastic pollution and other abuses of illegal fishing in the Mediterranean Sea. Our employees can volunteer to work on the ship for 2 weeks. And the feedback we receive on this partnership from our colleagues is overwhelming and entirely positive. And I'm super happy that we have this important partnership. I'm anyhow convinced we will not be able to save the world alone. And this is also what we at Allianz believe. We need to pull together. We need to build an entire ecosystem of forces. That's why at Allianz, we aim to work together. We aim to partner, not only internally with all our colleagues, the entities around the world and our customers, but also with external partners. And now I come back to this event and to the Oceans Hackathon. By being part of the Oceans Hackathon as a sponsor and with Allianz colleagues around the globe who could take part in this event, we think we can make a difference. We link sustainability to our business, and we can use skills and our data expertise of our employees to contribute to the creation of global ocean science needed to support the sustainable development of our oceans. We can also provide our employees with another opportunity to engage and to get active. So a perfect fit, and I'm more than happy and proud that we found each other. I'm deeply impressed of the list of projects and challenges you all worked on during this hackathon. I couldn't even tell which one I find most interesting or which one I like best. Such a broad spectrum covered, super interesting requests from the owners and the challenges. Really, really great. Reading through the list of the challenges confirmed what I have thought, that we as Allianz and with the expertise of our colleagues fit in really very well here. So a big thank you to all of you who participated, invested time and brain power for our oceans. I personally, and we as a company, highly appreciate your engagement. It's really great to see that there are so many people who are really willing to do something, to really contribute. And that is exactly what we need. So now I'm super curious to learn more about what has been developed and to listen to the pitches. That is really exciting for me. And even if there will be only some winners today, I'm sure that more ideas will be brought to life. So just as a side mark, unfortunately, I will not be able to join for the whole day, but I'm wishing all of you good luck. And with this, I hand over back to the organizers and to the presenting teams. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed, Heidi. Okay, so let the competition begin. There will be 3 series of pitches this morning. The order in which the teams participate has been carefully designed in order to take into consideration the considerable time differences between some of the teams that are taking part. Obviously, we have teams here, but we also have teams across the world. I believe in Mexico, it's perhaps 3 o'clock in the morning or something. So we have tried to organize the order that teams present today to take into account those time differences. Just to remind you, each team will have 5 minutes to pitch, okay, 5 minutes. And then 2 minutes to take and answer questions from our jury, okay? We hope to have time for 1 question from an online jury and 1 question from our jury here today, okay? Matilda has a very important job. She is our timekeeper, okay? As I've said, it is very important that teams stick to their timings, and Matilda will warn each team when they just have 1 minute left, okay, to try and help you. I would also say to teams, we have a very, very big area here today. You don't all have to crowd around one place. Feel free to use all this wonderful space, okay, to help your pitches. So, now it is time for the first series of pitches. We have San Francisco and Cape Town, South Africa online, and Nouméa and Toulon are with us here today. So without further ado, let's get cracking, as we say in the UK. So first up is the team from San Francisco, which is online. The pitch has been pre-recorded, and I would just say to members of the jury, it has been carefully timed, and it lasts 4 minutes, 53 seconds. So perfect timing, okay? Welcome, San Francisco. Technical glitch. No problem. While we try to find San Francisco, obviously, Numia, I believe it is your turn next, so if you want to start thinking about getting ready for your 5-minute session, okay, hopefully we will be up and running as soon as possible. Here comes the man with the power. Thank you very much, sir. The joys of online working. Looking good.
We also need carbon storage to meet our goals. Coastal blue carbon ecosystems such as mangroves, such as
Good. Just a little sound problem now, and then we'll be underway. So I believe the San Francisco entry is pre-recorded, but I believe some of the team members will be online after that. And as I say, Numia, feel free to start warming up for your event in a moment.
Hello and welcome. I'm Adrian. I'm a postdoctoral scientist at NASA, and I'm excited to be here today with my team members Avanti, Ariana, and Maya to pitch Blue Carbon. To tackle climate change, it is not enough just to reduce emissions. We also need carbon storage to meet our goals. Coastal blue carbon ecosystems, such as mangroves, salt marshes, and seagrasses, are an underexplored solution for carbon storage. Blue carbon ecosystems are up to 10 times more effective at sequestering carbon dioxide than terrestrial forests. And blue carbon has fewer pitfalls compared to planting trees. For example, trees have a higher demand for water resources, are susceptible to forest fires, and retain more heat relative to the grasslands that they replace. However, today there's no automated way to identify and characterize blue carbon ecosystems at scale across the world. And designing, monitoring, and evaluating restoration projects is currently hard and expensive. Our solution, Blue Carbon, is a deep tech blue carbon offset company. We're empowering the conservation and restoration of coastal ecosystems. With our AI-driven technology that enables us to more efficiently site, monitor, and evaluate blue carbon restoration projects anywhere on the globe, we're able to sell more beneficial and less expensive carbon offset credits directly to carbon-emitting companies.
This hackathon, we started with empirically verified locations of blue carbon ecosystems and used NASA open source satellite data to get multispectral images of blue carbon ecosystems. Our plan is to feed the multispectral images through a state-of-the-art deep learning model and train it to predict whether the image contains a blue carbon ecosystem, and if so, what type. That's just the intermediate output used for training the model. The cool part is that once the model is trained, we can run model interpretation to highlight the exact area occupied by a blue carbon ecosystem. And the great thing about deep learning is we can also use large amounts of unlabeled coastline imagery in what is called self-supervised learning to massively boost the model performance. We then combine this model with retrospective satellite imagery to see how ecosystems evolve over time. For example, this figure derived from satellite data highlights the degradation of the Sundarbans mangrove forest in Bangladesh that occurred in just 6 years. This is a challenging scientific problem that won't be solved overnight. But we made good headway this hackathon in prototyping the model and data, and we're confident the problem is solvable.
In addition to saving ocean's ecosystem, which has a great social impact, the climate impact of our solution is huge. Today, current rate of degradation of the carbon ecosystems result in a loss of up to 1 billion tons of CO2 absorption potential. This is huge. For instance, it is the equivalent of 3 times the emissions of France. And in addition to this great social and environmental impact, there is a huge market opportunity. It's called the carbon credits market, and it's split between regulated and voluntary carbon credits market. And guess what? The market is growing at a dramatic pace. Within this market, our business model is pretty straightforward. We sell carbon credits to emitting companies. And when we outsource the restoration and conservation part to NGOs and companies operating in the field, we provide them with precise data, but also monitoring and measurements of their progress using our deep learning technology. We thus offer innovative, efficient, and rigorously measured carbon offsets.
With an oceanographer, a data scientist, and 2 MBA students, our team gathered a unique set of expertise that will make a great impact into blue carbon storage. Since the San Francisco Ocean Hackathon, we pushed the project forward to explore its full potential. We have now a better understanding of the market and the stakeholders. The next steps are, first, extend the model. By the way, we already have some companies that have agreed to sign interest letters. And second, raise funds to scale up restoration projects and get more tractions. To tackle climate change and oceans ecosystem degradation, we need you to collaborate as funds and technical support, because we have only one planet. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome. I'm Adrienne. I'm a postdoctoral scientist at NASA, and I'm excited to be here today with my
Okay.
to pitch blue carbon.
So thank you very much to San Francisco. We now have time for 2 questions, but before I pass the microphone to the jury, both online and here in person, I would invite Numia to come on stage and start getting ready for their pitch. So I think we're just waiting for... Okay, so maybe we could take 1 question for the jury that's here today. Microphone? Yeah. Okay, anybody? You have a question? Certainly, madam.
Yeah, good morning. I had a question. I was quite interested in your pitch also, because I had worked a bit on Blue Forest and so on. And I was wondering if you had been taking contact also with one of the major projects that worked all over the world on blue carbon and blue forest. It was called Jeff Blue Forest. It was managed by Grid Armendal. And also there is a company in San Francisco that's working on it. It's Silvestrum. So I was wondering if you had tried to reach outside and looked what was already done.
I got that.
So, can you hear us?
Yes, welcome.
Thank you for the question. So, I don't know if my team heard about it, but I don't think we reached out to them for the moment. We have reached some experts in the domain, but at this point, not this one. We are looking forward with the auditing companies as Vera with the VCS. with the GPU's graphical processing unit. But yeah. Oh.
And also we'd be excited to be introduced to them. We are still looking to understand better the ecosystem. And for instance, in France, I think among the people who are present today in person are Tanaka, that we had the pleasure to meet last week. And we're still looking to meet more and more people just acting to save blue carbon ecosystems.
Excellent. Okay, I think we just have time for a question from a jury member online, please. Any questions? Any questions from our online jury, please?
The control room. No, we have no question online for the moment.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Excuse me. Side note, if there are no questions from the online jury, I think so during the weekend, Avanti and Adrian have been doing exciting work to just continue developing the prototype. And so I think the video that was shown was actually a bit shorter than the last one we were able to record. So if we could have like 15 seconds, maybe just to show you some preliminary results that I think are super interesting for everyone. Avanti, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'll happily do that. Yeah. So yeah, just for context,
Okay.
the video that I think you saw was 4 minutes, 30 seconds long. So you can time me. I won't take very much time. Can people see my screen?
Yes,
we can.
Yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, are you able to see this slide?
Yes.
Yeah, so this slide actually shows some preliminary results that we generated using the ArcGIS software. It uses a deep learning model trained on multispectral landsat data to annotate the region around the Rhone River Delta, and it correctly identifies these regions as containing wetlands. And this was actually a site that was in the empirically verified data set. And also in answer to respond to the first question, I just want to clarify that the business model in this case is partnering with the existing organizations that do blue carbon restoration. Our value add is really these types of analytics, which we think we'll be able to provide. And to our knowledge, there is no company that provides these kinds of complex analytics. There's definitely like organizations that do blue carbon restoration, but what we're bringing to the table is these analytics. And we did a literature review of the kind of analytics available, and to our knowledge, analytics of this scale have not been leveraged for blue carbon restoration. So just wanted to clarify that point. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed, San Francisco. Thank you for your pitch today. Okay, so next up, we have our team from Noumea. Welcome, gentlemen.
Bonjour, bonsoir, good morning, good evening. Oh shit! Again, climate experts are announcing that we'll have a Nino. That will be bad influence on my production, and I will lose money on that. In fact, I've heard that words several times from Thomas, a New Caledonian shrimp farmer. And in fact, El Nino, Enzo, doesn't affect only New Caledonia climate. It also affects most of the tropical countries. I live in Noumea since 2001, and I'm very concerned by the climate impact on Pacific Island communities. I'm a scientist in aquaculture, and I do want to do something there for food security. I was just thinking, could we predict the impact of ENSO variations on local food production? You know, this dream kept me awake for a while. I made a benchmark, and I found only one single good predictive model for palm oil production in Malaysia with an inspiring methodology. So I took the opportunity of the Ocean Hackathon to work on this issue. So I created an international team with Mark. He's an artificial intelligence expert in a bank in Nouméa. Justin, he was born in Kenya, and he's working in the US on predictive models. And Antonio, from Ecuador, he's studying statistics in Berlin, Germany. And we all have the same purpose: create a model predicting ENSO impacts on local food production. We collected data from Fiji and New Caledonia. On one hand, we had the oceanographic and weather data from Météo France and the NOAA, who generates the monthly ENSO index. And on the other hand, food production data from the Pacific community and local entities. To test several hypotheses in such a short time, Mark worked on agriculture and cattle. Justin worked on fisheries, shrimp. We worked, Antonio and myself, on them. After an intense day and night cleaning the data, working in R with high-speed internet, we did have 3 interesting results. First, in cattle, we observed a significant correlation, and we succeed to program a model predicting the carcass average weight, yearly average weight, with a better accuracy when we were using ENSO index. For tuna, we didn't find really significant correlations between ENSO and productions. Why? Probably because the ENSO impacts is weaker in the Fiji region. But in shrimp, we worked on and we gathered the production cycle data per month of stocking, of post-larva stocking, the baby shrimp. And we observed something very interesting. We get significant correlation between ENSO index and some yield, especially for the December stockings. We could definitely conclude that finally, for December stockings, while El Niño will reduce shrimp production, La Niña will bring better yields. Two success conditions to reach this is having good data with sufficient granularity, of course, and also expertise, industry expertise, to be able to interpret the data and make a good relationship. So we have a method to be able to work on linking the industry expertise and the data science for tropical countries. And we do have 2 proofs of concept. I met again the farmer, and I spoke about him about the results. And with his customer, the main shrimp vendor in the country, they were excited by the result that they could predict their production thanks to our model. I also speak with a SPC data scientist, and they were excited by being able to predict or reduce the impact and reduce the production. Reduce the finished.
Okay, thank you very much, Julia. So, as ever, before we pass the microphone over to the jury, Toulon, I believe you are up next. So if you would like to start getting ready, please feel free to do so. So first of all, do we have any questions from our jury that is here today? That works.
Data from? Oh, we get from the organization that manage the production of the cattle in New Caledonia, from the producers. Same for the shrimp. The shrimp also are from producers.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any questions from our online jury, please?
Hello from the control room. No, for the moment you have no question. Oh yes, we have one question from Alex Lukevich. Maybe you can open your microphone, Alex.
Yes, thank you, Juliette. Good morning, everyone. Good evening. Just one question. I was wondering with how many shrimp farms did you manage to work to have your data? And can you clarify your business model, please?
Okay, thank you for the double question. We only worked on one farm, but this is the oldest, and so we had a lot of, we have 37 years of data, 547 cycles, monthly data, so that was a gold mine for us. And only one, but the most variety of data. The business model, I was too slow, sorry, to reach that. We identify that the users can be or will be the farmers or the producers, will be the local agency to support the production, and also international organizations that can be interested in predicting the impact to then anticipate and avoid to send aid by emergency.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Numia. So now we return to mainland France with our pitch from Toulon, please.
Vous m'entendez? C'est bon? Vous me dites quand c'est bon? Okay, hi everyone. One question. What is the difference between these two pictures? You don't know? None. Two pictures are polluted, but just one is invisible, the microplastic.
We all think that the most of microplastic is only coming from the sea, but this is wrong. 66% is coming from the land. Our solution is an interactive map allowing us to visualize and anticipate the origin, the movement, and the deposit of our waste on our coast. Okay. This market is emerging. World Health Organization is calling up the world to strong microplastic research and action. 99% of the people under 35 are concerned and worried about it. The market for marine and coastal cleanup is booming. 80% of this pollution is due to microplastic.
So competitive monitoring was important for our project. We tried to identify the existing solution in France and in the world, and we found one, Bioceanor, located in the southeast as us, and they are analyzing the water quality, so they could be important for the development of our project, and we want to combine our strength and work together. So we want to build a strong territorial ecosystem with a lot of actors that are in the territory, as the local authorities, the businesses, startups, and also the citizens. So we will improve the traceability of the microplastic and centralize all data. Concerning our business plan, we have two parts. The monetary part will be about conducting studies to local and regional authorities in order to predict the movement of the microplastic, to quantify them, to identify the types, and also act accordingly. The other part will be to sell interactive map packages to subcontractors and of local authorities in order for them to target specific areas and set up a plan accordingly. The other part is a non-monetary part. It is about creating a community So we're going to work with association, local association, and citizen will be involved in the project because it is a critical situation. Plastic cleaning operation will be listing on the application, and it will be a go-to app for them. We will reference all data, but also information about the weather and the sea. And citizens could be involved also in the samples that we're going to use after all, because we need them in order to do the analysis and identify the types of microplastic and do a mapping, of course.
We already have the support of the metropolitan area of Toulon, test city, La Seine-sur-Mer, and 3 partners for the app. Do you know what it is? That's what you eat per month. So I'll bring it to you. That's what you eat per month.
Personally, I prefer to work on than eat it.
So how is this map works? First, you need to search the location that interests you. Then, with our centralization of data, you will be able to see the currents that drive the microplastic around. And next, it's going to be more precise, and you will be able to see where the microplastic are likely to be concentrated, and you will be able to act more efficiency. Yeah. And the next part is the affluent. So with this, you will be able to know where the microplastic come from, and at the end, we want to use the AI to improve our predictive models.
So I want to thank you all for your attention. And in a few minutes, you will see the photo of the team that we took at the Océan Hackathon in Toulon. So I would like to thank the team. My name is Clara, and this is Victor, Cédric, Stéphane, and Fanny. The last member of the team couldn't make it today, so he's online. And I hope, Simone, you can hear us. Thank you so much.
Okay, so as usual, we have time for a question online and a question from our jury. I would just ask, before you ask your question, if you could just introduce yourself, please. Tell us your name and where you are from. Do we have any questions from... Okay. Might have to shout. Try that.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Cotte from Seine. Thank you very much for this very nice presentation. I would have one question. I'm not sure I understood clearly. You were talking about involving citizens in how identifying some microplastic, and how do you plan to do this? It was not clear for me.
To involve citizens, like we want them to be actors. Like for prelevements, you have divers, like they might do some prelevements and different depths, by example. And fishermen, maybe, with a GPS, a prelevement from different spots. And it would be very valuable for us, because paying people to do that would be really expensive. So involving people is really good for us.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions from our online jury, please?
Hello, hello. Yes, we have a question from Laure d'Assonville from the French Ministry of the Sea.
Hello, everybody. I have one question. Could you give us more information about the study you recommended to do to identify the plastics?
Yes, we can. we have research a Canada Center who can say if the microplastic is coming from a bottle or if it's coming from the tires on the road. So when you make this prelevement, you can say to the city, you can say, okay, it's from this road, and we have to put something to just stop it. Is that clear, or would you like me to tell you more? I can't hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. And next up is Sean-Firman. Please get ready. I think we're just having the microphones cleaned very briefly. Here we are.
1, 2.
It sounds good.
Hi. Okay.
Hello.
I think we can hear you all. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. So I'm Axel, and let's start this presentation with a quick question. Do you know the name of this fish? No. Okay. So this is a Bongai cardinal fish, and it's really appreciated in aquarium, and thus in 2007 it became an endangered species. And so maybe in this room some of you knew the response to my question, but not everyone did. So to help people recognize fishes, we developed a mobile application. This application uses deep learning to identify fishes, and so it can help to raise awareness about marine biodiversity.
Hello everyone, my name is Melody. I'm the designer of this app named Tico. So the question, what does Tico look like? Good question. First, we have our loading page where we have to wait several seconds. We have our main page then, where we have the principles, the news, and the updates of Tico. When we click on the certain button, we're getting to the camera where you can identify the fish, thanks to deep learning algorithm. Then when we're clicking on the right button of the main page, we have the list of all identified species by user. And again, when we're clicking on one of them, we're getting to all information about it. So for example, its taxonomy, its location, its conservation status, etc. And finally, when we're clicking on the left button of the main page, we have the list of aquarium collaboration.
How does it work? Hello, I'm Brahima Keita, and with my teammate Ines, who is not here unfortunately today, we built the algorithm for the apps. For that, we acquire data from two sources. The first one from iNaturalist is a big data set with different species of animals. And the second one from Fish for Knowledge is a data set with only fish species. With this data, we built our deep learning algorithm. So what's deep learning? Good question. We will explain it easily. Let's take an example of a student who is studying for his exam on fish identification. So the first day with his teacher, he tries to identify fish species. And after that, to consolidate his knowledge, he tried to identify fish species on its own. As you can see in the previous slide, it gets wrong. And the day of the exam, according to all he learned before, he was able to identify correctly fish species. That's how deep learning algorithm works. It's first time trial and error method. Who could use TICO?
Good morning, I am Cyril. TICO brings a solution in education to get access to fish description more easily and more funny. TICO brings solution also in scientific research to monitor species in their natural habitat. And TICO brings solutions also in scuba diving to answer to the question, what is this fish?
Now, let's talk about perspective. TICO is a prototype today, but we would like to have first a better database optimum, because pictures weren't homogeneous. And then we would like to add a game where users could gain badges after capturing fish. And finally, so get it, test it, and become an addict of TICO. We really want to thank our data
providers,
dataset,
which is iNaturalist and Fish for Knowledge. We want to thank them.
Thanks for listening. Do you have any question?
Okay, so do we have any questions from our jury here today, please?
About had fish pictures on.
No, our data set contains 23 species of fish, and the second one contains 12 fish species. So we get that now, but according to what she said before, it will be funny for us to add a game during what the user can gain badges according to what it provides to our database. No fish species, maybe.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any questions from our online panel, please?
Yes, we have. So Pierre Labrosse from Ifremer had a question.
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you for this presentation. A short question. What about the risk of misidentification? I mean, how can you guarantee one species is the good species, is the right one?
Good question. Our algorithm was trained, and we get 92% of accuracy. So it's not accurate as 100%, but with data the users will provide, it will be more accurate. But it's now 92% of accuracy. Our lab.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. And we end this series of pitches with Cape Town, who I believe are online. I give you Cape Town, hopefully.
Hi everyone, can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Awesome. Hi. So we are presenting from South Africa, not Cape Town actually. We're actually presenting from Joburg, let's go ahead. So in Africa, we have a saying: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So we believe that to have a meaningful, sustainable impact, we have to go together. So just to quickly introduce our team, we have Sia, myself, and Lindo, who unfortunately could not make it today. And we aim to make a sustainable impact with our solution. In Nigeria, Africa's most populated country, only 12% of waste is recycled. Due to this low propensity to recycle, which resonates across the continent, tons of plastic waste ends up discharged in our ocean, ultimately harming marine life. So Care, a small Nigerian startup, is tackling this global problem. Their business model is simple. They enable millions of people to pay for healthcare with recyclable waste. For the African chapter of the Ocean Hackathon, we were asked to map the optimal location for waste management centers. However, we quickly encountered a problem, a data problem. There was none. Well, there was some, but there definitely wasn't enough. So we had to think differently. So 3 data scientists had to quickly become behavioral scientists overnight. In the end, we came up with an initiative that creates data, hence Spotless. Spotless is a solution that brings the whole community into the recycling value chain. This helps Care provide more healthcare insurance to people by recycling more plastics that may have ultimately ended up polluting our ocean. Sia, can you please tell them more about Spotless?
Thank you very much, Mfundo. Yes, I surely will. Let me tell you about Spotless. So Spotless adds a waste identification layer by adding a tagger into the Care ecosystem. With Spotless, anyone can tag or any waste, anywhere, anytime. So this is how it works. You're probably asking yourself how it works, right? Sounds too good to be true. It's just, oh my God, how do you do this? How do you move this? How do you move this thing?
It's like,
oh, okay, great.
Okay. This is where we are. Apologies for that. Let me just put this. Okay. A second. Okay, cool. Yes.
Right. So imagine yourself as Chimamanda in Nigeria, right? And as Chimamanda, you're walking down the street, you're walking to a meeting, you're going to get coffee, dinner, or you're just going to club, right? And what happens is you see a pile of plastics on the side of the road. What do? So you know that Care offers this lottery, weekly lottery, where if you are a tagger, you get the chance to win something at the end of the week if you are a tagger. So what you do is you simply key in *384 *Spotless, right? And this takes you to a menu where you have to confirm that you are a tagger. And on top of that, it pre-populates the location that you are in. With that, you just simply choose a prize. Well, you just want that lottery, right, at the end of the week. And look at that. You only have to wait for a weekly prize at the end of the week for tagging plastic. That's all you have to do. Great? I feel like that's great, right? But now, let's look at a different scenario. You are a waste collector. You are Faith in Nigeria. You are a family woman who has to support her family each month to make ends meet. Faith is also a social care waste collector.
Sorry that you're just to stop you there, but you've had your 5 minutes, I'm afraid. So we need to move to questions if we can. Sorry about that. Are there any questions from our jury here, please, in Brest? Any questions? Okay, Pauline.
Hello, I'm Pauline from Technopole Brest-Tiroise. I have a question regarding the health insurance. Could you maybe detail more how it works?
Can you please repeat that?
I have a question regarding the health insurance. Could you detail more how it works?
How it works. So, Care is a startup, like we mentioned, and essentially what they do is that they offer insurance premium in exchange for recyclable waste. So, for example, like we had mentioned, Faith would have to collect a certain quota in order to meet the requirement for an insurance premium. And there's also an option to pay cash. So it's a low-end health insurance premium that accepts waste as payment, as a currency.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Do we have any questions from our online jury, please?
Yes, we have a question from Hugues Denis from Nouméa.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So yes, indeed, I'm Hugues Denis from Nouméa. I had a question really about the business model for the first solution when you're actually spotting trashes in the street and taking a picture to either like win a reward or claim a lottery. So for me, it's a bounty business model, and in this case, main option for people is to forge or like to not play the game, to take a picture saying that there is trash, whether there is not, just to enter the lottery. So my question is, how do you prevent this? How do you prevent people actually entering your spotting event and not forging it?
So that's a very good question. Thank you. So we had this question pop up quite a lot, and the way in which how it has been designed is that a person who is a tagger will have to register. So they would have to give us their information so we can validate who they are. And with that information, every single time that they tag information, the credibility of their tag is solidified when the waste collector picks up the waste, goes to that location, and validates that it's actually the waste was picked up.
Okay, thank you for your explanation. It's a two-way system where you get validated for your action. Okay, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Joburg, thank you for that excellent pitch. Okay, well that will conclude the first series of pitches. So just as an aside, as you know, from the 5th to the 7th of November, so about a month ago, the local editions of the Ocean Hackathon were organised in 14 different cities across the world. With that in mind, we have put together some videos and photos of these individual events to show you the real spirit and atmosphere of the local Ocean Hackathon. Okay. This brings us back to an important part of the competition this morning. Most of you will be aware that during the contest, local groups shared their thoughts, feelings, ups and downs through a Discord server called Share Your Story. On this server was organised a very important contest, the Mascot Contest. Nothing to win, it was just about having fun. So if we just like to show, so we're going to just see the mascots quickly, or here we go, wonderful. A goldfish. Cool. Wow. Wow. Not quite sure what that is, but good. Oh, sorry. And the winner was, I'm pleased to say, Charlie from Toulon. Okay, so now we move quickly on to our second series of pitches this morning. First up is our home team of Brest. Come and set yourselves up, guys, please. So I give you Brest.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay.
It's safe.
So let me introduce to you the mobile phone application My Greenfield. So why My Greenfield? We underline the following issues. Agriculture needs nitrogen spreading to increase its harvesting and to get rid of animal waste from industrial livestock farming. The consequences of excessive spreading are the production of seaweed and air pollution. The production of toxic green algae depends on nitrogen pressure, sunshine, and rain. In order to limit the nitrogen pressure, regulations allow spreading periods based on type of seeds and fertilizer. But how can we help farmers to reduce pollution? So we came up with a solution: quickly and easily synthesize several real-time data on forecasts, such as weather, atmospheric pollution, toxic green algae production, and regulations. Our proposal, an app that gives a daily score to help the decision to spread fertilizer, while limiting the environmental impact, i.e. reducing nitrogen pressure and atmospheric pollution. So the team My Greenfield. Who we are: Paul, Corentin, Simon, Florent, Marianne, and Jean-Baptiste. The team is composed of 6 persons with different backgrounds and expertise: engineers, project managers, and web developers. We organized our work starting with a brainstorming session on a work breakdown in order to produce a mock-up and a prototype. So how does the application work? So it starts with the legislation that gives a go, no-go, and then 3 scores are calculated. 1 for the good practice based on know-how of farmers, 1 for the water quality based on the nitrogen level forecasted, and the last score based on the water quality measured twice a day on pollution stations. Data used are real-time data provided by Météo France for the weather forecast, Ifremer for the model e-commerce 3D for the nitrogen levels in sea, and the French government for air pollution. We made these technical choices. Graphical user interface was done using Figma, programming in JavaScript with the framework Svelte, and the application can be installed on all mobile phones and computers. So the aim is to spread the right quantity in the right place at the right time. So this is the data workflow of the app, ending up with a global score, which is an average of the water quality score, the air quality score, and the good practice score. The respect of the legislation
is an indication for the farmers. So this is the application My Green Field. To sum up, our application gives a daily rating that allows farmers to increase their operational efficiency, saving time to plant spreading and anticipating the organization of work. It also contributes to obtaining a high environmental value for farmers by adjusting fertilization, optimizing doses and dates, to reduce greenhouse gases emissions and to fight against the proliferation of green algae bloom. So what's next? We thought about a structure backed by institute-type project leaders such as IFREMER or INRAE, with partnership with chambers of agriculture. This work is based on the recommendation of the French Cour des Comptes report to reduce toxic algae production. Funding will come from public funding such as state grants, regions, departments, water agencies, Chamber of Agriculture, and European funds. A group of beta testers will be set up with chambers of agriculture and unions to test, improve, and validate the app before disseminating and promoting. And in the future, we will do research and development with deep learning studies to validate the correlation between spreading practices and toxic green algae bloom and create an high environmental value label for farmers. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed, Brest. First of all, do we have any questions from our jury here today in the front row, please? Try this, you may have to shout. Please introduce yourself too.
Thank you very much. I'm Laurent Breton from Champs-sur-Marne, and I have a short question. I didn't understood if you use agricultural regulation as input data for your model.
Yes, regulation is used to create an indicator that says to the farmers that it is possible or not to spread fertilizer. It's based on the moment of the year, what kind of seeds and fertilizer do you use. Mostly that's it. Meteorological. No, it's used for weather forecast is used for the good practice based on how farmers do the spreading today. So to roughly, you need rain, but not too much rain. You do not need too much wind. And not too much sun as well, because the rain washes the soil, and all the nitrogen end up in the sea, and then you get toxic green algae bloom. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any question from the jury?
Yes.
Fernando Sancadiz, sorry, you might want to start getting ready. You're up next. San Fernando Cadiz.
Okay. We have a question from Alex Dukevich from the Cluster Maritime Français. Very short question, please, because we are a little bit late. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliette. A simple question indeed. How many farmers did you involve in your project?
At the moment, none, because we started the application during the hackathon. So there is no farmers involved in the project actually, but that's the main issue, because if farmers don't use the application, it would be useless.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Brett.
Thank you.
And next up, we have our team from San Fernando Cadiz who are here in person. Welcome.
Avant que mes collègues arrivent, je voulais juste remercier l'organisation pour la super opportunité qu'on a eue. Vraiment, c'était une très, très belle expérience pour nous en venant de Cadiz. On a beaucoup aimé la façon dont elle a été organisée, surtout parce que nous, en venant d'un entourage plutôt académique, ça nous a donné l'opportunité de sortir, disons, de notre cave, de voir, disons, les problèmes d'un point de vue plus de business. Donc, merci beaucoup pour l'opportunité. On est très content d'être ici. Et maintenant, si on peut... All right, excellent. So you might have a small card in your hand. Let me talk to you about the Smart Shipping project. The motivation for us is the following. You know, shipping industry is probably the most efficient way to move cargo, but it's a very polluting industry. Almost 3% of the global carbon dioxide emissions are emitted by the shipping industry. The IMO is well aware of this fact and is committed to reducing these emissions. So the ships that will not have a certain efficiency index are going to be, very soon, they will not be able to operate. Regarding the economy, fuel costs are almost 60% of total operation cost of the shipping industry, okay? And we claim that our solution is going to be able to cut this bit by 3 to 10%. But this is not only about the environment and about the economy, it's also about safety. Almost half of all the accidents in the sea that involve human casualties or cargo loss are due to bad weather conditions. So what do we propose here? Well, we propose to use data from winds, from currents, from waves, to find better sea routes. That's all. It's a weather routing system. So sail wisely with the use of a data-driven system. So we download all this data from the main providers, and we have scripts up and running that every night connect to the servers, download all the fresh data. And you see, oh, this is the old transformation, okay, it doesn't matter. Well, this is just the resolution that we have the data for. But just as a reminder, this weather data is changing every day. So every day you calculate the new route, the route is going to be different. Okay, we need to have a software that optimizes for any given starting date. The way we do this is we need to model the fuel consumption of every single boat. And for this, we will use information from the ship characteristics to model the resistance due to waves, due to wind, and all these other functions. So we use information from hydrodynamic modeling and naval engineering. And then, once we have the consumption model, we need to optimize it. And for this, we use the most advanced mathematical techniques in genetic algorithms, steepest gradient descent, in order to find for every set of conditions what is the best route, okay? Reaching, as I said, a savings of 3 to 10%. What is the business model? Well, the business model is very easy to understand, right? I mean, we're saving money, consuming less. So it makes sense that we charge for a license to use this. Just a few numbers. A route from Europe to China can be almost 2.5 million euros worth of fuel. If we save 2% of this money, that means that in this trip, it will be 50,000 euros that we're saving to the shipping company. Well, it wouldn't be bad to charge them 15,000 for a license, which means that in only 1 or 2 weeks of operation, the shipping company will have compensated the cost of the total year license, and the rest is savings on the company. So it is better on the environment, and we save money, and we improve the safety. Okay, I'm going to skip this. The global market is the total merchant fleet, which is roughly 60,000 ships. Our main competitor, which is a Norwegian company called StormGeo, has 10% of the market, 6,000 ships. The rest of the companies are very young, so we estimate that roughly 70% of the market is free to hit with this technology. And this is what in business theory we call the blue ocean strategy, if you know about this. Okay, so let me briefly show you a demonstration of how the software works. 1 minute. Okay. So first, you need to choose the boat. You choose a boat. You have all the characteristics of the boat. Then you will choose a route where you want to operate. Yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid the video is 2 minutes. I'm going to be 1 minute over time. So you choose the road that you want to operate. In the future, the roads will be custom, and you choose the day. And once you choose the day, then it will load the whole weather data corresponding to that day. And now you will see the optimized routes. So it takes a while. Normally it takes 15 minutes. Now we're cheating a little bit. So in the route from Charleston to the Azores, you see the real route is the red one, and the optimized route is blue. And we were able to save 3.6% of fuel. Okay, 70 tons of CO2 less in the atmosphere for 12,000 euros. So in one trip, you almost have the total price of a license. Okay, as you see, our software incorporates all the weather data. This is all up and running. You can try it with the cards that you have. All the waves, wave heights. Okay, we're almost done. Yeah, I'm sorry. The video is 1 more minute. Okay, so you can see as you move along, the data kit constantly changing every day. And on the 4th day, okay, somebody changed that. So, all right. So just briefly mention the team. This is just part of it. It's 8 or 9 people.
Sorry, we do need to move on, I'm afraid, because we
all
are
right.
running a little
Okay,
bit
thank
late.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, so first of all, do we have any questions from our jury here? Yes, please, madam. That works.
Ivan Avuka from Split. You skipped the slide with the competitors, so could you briefly mention them and what is the difference between your model and their?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I skipped it out of time, of course. We did a very careful analysis of the competence. StormGeo is a Norwegian company that has been operating weather routing systems for at least 10 years. Okay, they were sold to another company for something like 370 million euros, and their yearly sales are 70 million euros. The way that we want to do things different from them is that we want to incorporate new things into our modeling system. And I'm talking of something like wind-assisted modern technology. There's a tendency in the shipping industry to incorporate new technology to take care of the wind, like planar rotors, like other kind of winds. And to the best of my knowledge, there is still no simulation software that is able to incorporate the real savings that these elements would make in a real wind situation. So some routes will help. Some routes might not be so profitable, and you need to simulate all these things. So that's the way that we want to do things different.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions from our online jury, please?
Yes, we have a question from Ben Lesage from SOA. Short question and short answer, please.
Thank you, Juliette. Very short question. So Ben from Sustainable Ocean Alliance. So cost reduction is one thing, but I'm also curious to know if you are able to calculate the CO2 reduction in your model. Thank you.
Yes, well, we claim that we do, but of course you can model things and calculate things in many different ways. So we're doing some very simple conversion from fuel burning to CO2 emission. So of course this depends on the type of fuel that you're burning, but roughly speaking, there's a direct proportionality between how much fuel you're burning and how much carbon dioxide you're releasing into the atmosphere. And that's what they're using for this baseline model. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And next we have Boulogne-sur-Mer. If you would like to come and get ready, please. Boulogne-sur-Mer.
Okay. Hi, everyone. What do you think? Can you click? Yes. What do you think about these pictures? Don't you think that's kind of awful and crappy? Certainly, this pollutes our marine landscapes and our seas. If you've never seen it, I encourage you to go and see in marinas how many of them are left aside. Recycling channels currently exist for the pleasure boats. For instance, in France, which is a pioneer in this activity, an eco-organism covers the cost of dismantling and recycling. However, craneage and transport are complicated and costly, and they remain the responsibility of the boat owners. And this is even more complicated and costly when the boat is abandoned. As a result, looking to France as an example, for 5,000 boats that could be dismantled each year, only 1,000 are actually recycled. The solution we came up with aims at enabling the end-of-life recycling of boats by solving logistics challenges with affordable costs. The solution would cover the last transport cost and improve circularity by re-injecting second-hand spare parts into the market. So now you wonder what's our solution? It consists in a digital platform coupled with logistics solution that would enable organization of the boat's final trip to recycling, the resale of second-hand spare parts, a personalized follow-up of the boat life for owners, a living community, and the access to nautical market and services. Valentin now will introduce you our web interface.
Just another small technique.
Yeah. So, okay, or otherwise I can continue and we'll present you the interface at the end. Okay. So let's move back to the presentation and the slide 5. Okay. All right. So we have two types of customers: marinas and boat owners. As you can see, we finally closed the loop of the recycling chain, by financing the logistics with the resale of second-hand spare parts and an annual fee applied on the marina berth. To build our model, we use data from the last annual report of the eco-organism, and we use data from governmental studies, statistical sources, and we used also cost and price lists shared by major digital players and suppliers. And now, to be concrete and talk about numbers, with our first calculation, our model would run with a fee of 20 euros per year on the marina berth. Our project offers a solution to major environmental and social challenges, and we foresee to develop our activity under a cooperative model in which key partners such as the eco-organism, local authorities, service providers would be associated. Our strength today is that we already combine many skills. First, our young and motivated team of IT developers, just here, which already worked on the web platform you probably see afterwards, and provided great support in the business model. As for myself, I'm currently a supply chain expert, and I used to lead innovative and digital and cross-functional projects at a global level. Of course, to move forward with this project, we need additional skills such as technical skills for the spare part decommissioning and web marketing expertise to enable marketplace growth. Our ambition is to enable the recycling of 3,000 boats per year in 3 years and reach 5 million euros turnover. In order to reach the target, the first step would be to structure the project, establish relationship with our partners, and to set up a pilot, proof, and confirm our hypothesis before rolling out the model. We strongly believe in our project, and we are now eager to hear your comments and reply to all your questions, and hope to introduce you to the platform. Maybe you should go on the net directly. No? Oh. I believe you are more than excited to discover it.
Okay, we will just take any questions we may have here from the jury, please.
So since you are not able to see the solution, I'm interested in what really you were able to develop during the Ocean Hackathon, and also what kind of digital data you've been using during the hackathon.
I did not understand the first question.
What is the solution you developed during the 84 hours of Ocean Hackathon, since we were not able to see it?
Okay, we implemented a platform, a web platform, in which you are able to follow your boat, in which you are able to organize the trip of your boat to the recycling sites, and also you have access to the marketplace and the second-hand marketplace. Because in fact, the solution, the idea is to, let's say, before the boat is going to the dismantling site, we take it, we remove let's say, the spare parts that could be reused, and then we send it to the, so we have the logistic solution, collect and store the material, let's say, the spare parts, and then, let's say, the digital solution that enable all these connections and the community to run together. Regarding the data, in fact, our project is a bit different from the other projects. We did not have to crunch data. So all the data we used is, let's say, reports from the APER, which is the eco-organism of France, that lists all the boats that have to be dismantled and the sizes and so on. And we cross that with the nautical markets information, all the information you can find on the governmental site, the Ministry of the Sea and so on.
If I could just move you on, do we have a short question maybe from the jury online, and a short answer, please?
Yes, a short question from Alex Lukevich from Cluster Maritime.
Yes, thank you very much. Just a short question. Is your target market only for the territorial France, or maybe also for the French overseas territory, where is a big nautical market?
You said the French, sorry?
Your target market is only for the territorial France, or also for the French overseas territory?
I did not catch the difference between the two, but in fact, the solution is for all France in the harbors on the seas, and the harbors also internal ones. But we know that there is also an initiative at the European level, and the French example is really, let's say, well followed by Europe, because most probably we will be pioneer in the approach, and they will be really interested to move on. So probably our solution, if it works and if it's confirmed on the French market, could be applied later on Europe.
Okay.
Ok, ma question était, je vais la reformuler en français.
Yes,
Portez plutôt sur le marché que vous avez présenté aujourd'hui, qui est en France hexagonale, mais il y a un très gros marché en Outre-mer et particulièrement aux Antilles. Ma question, c'est de savoir si vous visiez également le marché hors France territoriale.
Yes, the scope is France, let's say all of France, including the
the
Yeah.
French overseas territory.
Exactly,
Thank
yes.
you.
Okay, do we have any joy with any luck with this? Oh, okay, my apologies. Okay, well, thank you very much, Boulogne. Split, you are on next, please. So I welcome Split.
Hello everyone, my name is Christina and this is my colleague Alan and we are here to present you Shell Live. First I would like to give you a small challenge. Here is a photograph of a shell from family Pectinidae and in large photograph of its stria. To elaborate, stria are those lines that you can see that shell forms periodically and that's the way the shell grows. By counting those stria, we can estimate the relative age of a shell and in this case, one stria represents 1 day. Now you have 10 seconds to count as many as you can. As you can see, this is not an easy job, and you analyze just a small part of a shell. Usually, analysis of one whole shell lasts about 3 to 4 hours because it is done manually and it's very time-consuming. What if I tell you that we can speed up this process by 18,000 times? And that is what we did on the Ocean Hackathon. Here you can see the algorithm that counts all the stria throughout the shell in just a few seconds and also measures the distance between them. So this speeds up our process. Next, our challenge is divided in 2 parts. First part is to speed up the process of analysis of growth dynamics, and the other one is to correlate environmental parameters that influence bivalve growth, such as temperature, salinity, food supply, with that growth dynamics. Why is this important? Because automation of this process would enable us to get faster and more robust data sets. And with these data sets, we would have better insight in the ecology and the biology of the species, which is considered overexploited. And most importantly, it would lead us to sustainable management and better stock assessments of these species, which is also under the scope of SDG 14. And where we started, we have provided data from 2 different institutions. First, high-resolution microphotographs and daily temperature and data salinity from the Institute of Oceanography and Fisheries, and precipitation data was provided from Croatian Meteorological and Hydrological Service. And now to my colleague, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Christina. So our solution comes in a form of interactive tool written with Python with an OpenCV library whose input is just a single image. The goal is to detect all the strias and to count each one. An assumption is made that between each stria, time period is just 1 day. The result of our analysis is a measurement error of 4% for a total of 11 specimens. Our code runs in 0.5 seconds, which enables the scientists to analyze hundreds of shells in just a single workday. Also, we made a graphical user interface to pair the detected shell data to the tabular data we receive from the institute. Here, the input is just shell removal date, and the data axis automatically adjusts. Next, we located 3 possible avenues for our business to develop further, but our true passion lies in open science, and we want to bring this algorithm to all the scientists who do sclerochronology, so that more data on more species in different areas becomes more globally accessible. Also, as scientists ourselves, the main goal is repeatability of these measurements, and with this method, this can be tested. Moving on to the competition, the only real competitor in our case is a software called ImagePro, but it doesn't have automated image analysis, nor does it have a correlation with environmental variables, and you can see it is quite costly. As far as users go, we identified more than 30 universities and more than 20 research institutions who would value in using our unique solution. And also, to promote ourselves in May 2023, there is an international congress held in Japan where we plan to promote our unique solution. Moving on, from the hackathon to the finals, we developed a shell preparation protocol to enhance the performance of our algorithm even more. And in January, we will optimize our sample preparation protocol, followed by model adjustments. Then we'll move on to the more robust analysis. And after that, we'll make improvements in correlation with environmental variables. Finally, our team is made of biologists, mathematicians, and engineers who truly love what we do. And the first time we ever met was on the Ocean Hackathon, and this is what we built in 48 hours. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, just before we move on to questions, could I ask Set to start getting ready, please, because you're up next. Okay, any questions from our jury here in the amphitheatre, please? Any questions? Yeah, please do. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, I appreciate it. Emmanuel from Fraud France. Just on a global point of view, what is the return on investment for the customer itself? To understand a little bit better your business model, what is the return on investment for the customer itself?
It's open source. We want to give it to others to work with it.
But how do you monetize your work then, if it's completely open source?
We don't.
Okay, fair enough.
We're
fair enough.
scientists. We don't.
Okay, thank you very much. And do we have any questions from our online jury, please? Just quick question, quick answer, please.
No, I think we have no question. All was clear.
Hey, thank you very much indeed. Bet, you're up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the current coastal solution, like breakwater, wave attenuators, and artificial reef, are no longer sufficient to deal with the combined impact of climate change, coastal hazard, and anthropogenic pressure on marine ecosystem and coastline. Why? Because for each of these problems, we continue to artificialize the seabed with one of these solutions, but without a multifunctional biomimetic approach and without a multi-scale optimization. That's what I understood during my studies. My name is Robin Alloz. I'm a coastal risk and marine ecology engineer. I'm a surfer and the founding president of Lineup Ocean. And like probably most of you, since my childhood, I've seen the face of the coastline change. But let's start in 2017. During my studies, I imagined a new generation of biomimetic modules which can be assembled at large scale and capable at the same time to mitigate the swell in storm conditions, to enhance marine biodiversity in small coastal depth, while create support for ecotouristic activities like snorkeling, diving, and even surfing. The name of this concept, the Blue Barrier, a multi-purpose ocean-based solution for coastal resilience all over the world. 2019, end of my studies, I meet Jim Roney, founder-president of SoLiquid, a startup which developed a new large-scale 3D printing technology by suspending the material in a gel matrix. With this eco-industry process, compared to what's being done today, we are more creative, more productive, more economical, and less impactful on the environment by designing our modules in a biogenic material. With our industrial partner technology applied to the Blue Barrier, Lineup win 2 distinctions and integrate the Business and Innovation Center of Montpellier. 2020, during the confinement, with SolidQuid, we take the time to dimension and optimize three-dimensional mesh. And from this mesh, we design our ultra-porous biomimetic modules, which can be assembled at large scale and directly inspired by the architecture and ecosystemic function of complex marine ecosystem. By adding this module, we can shape a blue barrier, like a lagoon or a sandbank, to break the waves at the best place and to create under the solution a quiet area for marine life and sedimentation. Thanks to this work, we are contacted by the Marine Reserve of Palavas-les-Flots to install our first module in 2022 for an underwater trail. It's the beginning of the proof of concept with our technical partner, P2A Development, that will submerge our modules and carry out the ecological monitoring. Together, we win a regional subvention for this project and line up finish Take the Future Innovation Award. 18 January 2021. The startup is open. The final business model is based on design studies, on biomimetic expertise with the sale of the reef, and on the creation of awareness programs to fulfill our mission. March, we finalize the development of a unique software which allows to dimension any shape of blue barriers on any beach of the world. And in partnership with great laboratories, we compute the best shape and the best placements for our solution at large scale. And then we compute the wave attenuation by adding 3D hydrodynamic simulation, and we refine this calculation at small scale with our ultra-porous mesh. June, we raise 45,000 euros for R&D program in partnership with the Beach Institute of Gladys and Geoscience Montpellier, renewable for 3 years. September, we win our first call against our competitors to design a project for our second customer, the city of Lagonde-Motte. October, we are contacted by our third customer to build a large-scale blue barrier demonstrator to protect a railway. November, with a multidisciplinary team, for the first time, we link our data with data provided by the Ocean Hackathon partners to compute the blue barrier risk-benefit ratio on several sites around the city of Sète. Result, over 30 years, a blue barrier is 2 times more profitable for coastal communities than the current beach maintenance within the climate change context. December, here we are for the grand finale. And next year, our team will expand in our new office. Our first module will be in the water, and other projects will emerge for global coastal resilience.
I'm afraid your time is up. Sorry,
okay, thank you.
Your time is up. Okay, before questions and answers, can I just ask the SMORG team to start getting ready, please? Do we have any questions from the jury? Yep. Who's actually, madam, you haven't had a chance. Here we go.
Thank you. Gaëlle Jean from Nausicaa, Centre National de la Mer. I was wondering about the achievement you've made during the hackathon, because you presented the full job you've made for the past years. And during November, what did you achieve?
Okay, so I have a slide for this, for the compute of the risk-benefit ratio. It was during 48 hours, so during the first weekend of the Ocean Hackathon, we compute around sets on 3 sites the risk and the benefits of coastal management without the blue barrier and with the blue barrier. And we have chosen to compute this ratio on 100 linear meters and for 30 years for lower question, you know. And so in first you have the column for the risk compute and for the benefits. It's really simply, and for each line of the compute you have the source data, okay. And so we in first we identified the site, And after we modelize the wave condition in our software with data from SHOM, from, for example, the litho 3D bathymetry, and coupled with the cost of current beach maintenance and extrapolation of loss of tourism on this duration. And after, for the same site, we compute with blue barrier optimization and coupled with scale economy for production with our technology, for the ecological monitoring. And so with the multidisciplinary team, each member was placed on one of these compute for the final.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Do we have any questions from the online jury, please?
Yes, a very short question and please a very short answer. What did the hackathon brought you?
An international visibility, sure. And also, I think it's really important at this step of the project, a lot of partners, not only for the data, because always in our work we try to use open data. We can continue the work with the data from all the partners used in our work, but I think it's also around the test of the biogenic material of the colonization, for example, with the Ifremer, with other partners on technical, on physical question, I mean.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, and next we have our team Smorg, please.
Salut.
Okay, thank you for having us selected for the grand finale. Our competitors should hang on. We're going to win this round.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Wait, you're not part of the final.
What's that? Don't we compete this year? Shall we leave?
Well, you've not qualified this year. Today you're here as Ocean Hackathon ambassadors.
Okay, only ambassadors. We tried at least. But look, we could compete. With this beautiful wooden map, we went to the final in 2019.
A wooden chart. You know that with Ocean Hackathon, you've got to make a product based on digital data, right? And you made a wooden chart. You went to the final with a wooden chart. I don't believe it.
Only a wooden chart, but it's made with digital cutting. And look at the beacon. They blink like the real ones. Yeah, it's fine looking, but also interactive. Thanks to image recognition, one could get information corresponding to the position. Oh, okay. But thus, with it, anybody could get additional information like seabed nature or weather forecast. For example, blind sailor use it during navigation. It's so nice. But least but not last, we also created a playful quiz to teach the jewels of the ocean. Of course, we focused on the treasure of the Brest Bay, but the only limitation is our imagination, or your imagination, our imagination of people from all over the world.
Oh, yeah, okay, but that was 2 years ago. Surely you've upgraded your chart since. I have heard about this thing called virtual reality, if you're familiar with it.
Yes, indeed. We made a 16 square kilometers virtual environment based on real data like LIDAR data, AIS, seabed areas, and so on. with your VR helmet, you can freely explore in the air, on the ground, or underwater while you're seated in your sofa. So people who don't have access to the seaside, disabled people, for instance, and can also dive and swim with seals and discover old wrecks, for example. And we have even got seasickness simulators, and the only difference with the reality is you don't want that you won't feel the fish on just your sofa. So let's play a short video, put on your boots, and let's cast off.
So we are leaving the Conquet, the Camavon Lighthouse. Thank you. Watch out for pollution. And we're going to dive to reach an old wreck. That was last year.
That was last year, but this is this year. What have you done this year?
As we've not been selected for the grand finale last year, we went on with virtual reality.
So you're now telling me that your 2021 Ocean Hackathon contribution lasted 1 year. Isn't that a little bit too much?
Of course not. This year we started again from scratch. We've just used the skills we learned the year before, and we have created a new zone to model marine submersion in La Nile-Dut. And we did it seriously. We took into account several parameters linked to sea level, tide level, atmospheric pressure, waves, and also the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change scenario around Horizon 2100. It's a useful tool to reach the general public as well as politicians. So it's time to put on your diving equipment. The water is cold, take care.
Welcome to La Nile-Dut. Small piece of paradise. This time we made the sea rise. We flooded everything. This was this year's result.
Okay, well, this is great. And have you planned something for next year, for 2022?
Rob, do you think we're going to reveal our plans like this, our secret plans? What is sure is that we're going to celebrate the 2nd anniversary of Smoke.
Well, while we're on the subject, let's talk about Smog. I mean, what is this name? Where does it come from? Does it mean something? Are you fans of The Hobbit, of J.R. Tolkien?
Yeah, we might be. Smog means Smart Map Augmented. We are a non-profit organization. Therefore, our 3D maps and charts come out of the smoke. The organization was created just right after the Ocean Hackathon in 2019. The goal is to make cartography in a different way. We make 3D on-demand maps. We can create material interactive maps augmented with a digital twin called Navizu. This year, we're going to create an interactive marine chart for sailing teachers. Last year, among other activities, we taught marine chart to pupils at school, and we held a VR workshop during a festival.
Oh, that sounds absolutely great what you're doing in Smog. Can I join you?
Yeah, of course, great, a new founder. Here are some statistics. 3 participations in the Ocean Hackathon. That's 18 different competitors and 750 hours of work. Thank you to all our partners. Thank you to Cathy, who is not there today. Thank you to you for listening to us.
Thank you very much indeed. As I'm sure you are all aware, this pitch is not really part of our competition today. Smog was chosen to be presented this morning to give you all a taste of how exciting projects develop during Ocean Hackathon, okay, with each edition of Ocean Hackathon. Perhaps you have some cool projects like this in your city. Perhaps you would like to take part. If so, we would be delighted to invite one of them to take part in next year's hackathon. Thank you to Smog. This now brings us to our third series of pitches, okay? Our first group is online, where I believe it's probably about 5 o'clock in the morning in Mexico City. So I give the floor to Mexico City.
Hi, I'm Tania. I'm representing Mexico in a challenge for the 263 coastal localities in Mexico. Can you imagine 11 million cars each year we dump the equivalent of such weight in trash into the ocean? We want to everyone in the planet to know how severe ocean pollution because of plastic is. This amount has created 5 garbage patches, each one the size of France. It's important to mention that coastal localities represent the last barrier to prevent land debris from becoming marine litter. We are facing an increase from 11 to 33 million tons in 20 years. The big problem is that there is not much information available. Latin America is lagging behind the data generation, and the available information is scattered. Biodiversity is at stake, as well as our health and our society. The more plastic we use, the more green gases we generate to the atmosphere, and more residual plastic and gases are absorbed by the ocean. Several multilateral entities, ranging from technical cooperation to civil organizations, are working on the matter in a joint way. To very few under an unified approach for the practical use of the available information. What we are trying to achieve is to gather all ocean pollution information available to contribute among the different layers of the government, private sector, and society, building a participative alliance to reduce environmental impact with basin vision. Through citizens' empowerment for participation, they will be the ones to feed the database with multimedia content. We will set up an automated learning algorithm to classify information and improve estimates. In our study case, we select a North Mexican municipality, Mexicali, which is part of the World Aquarium as was named by Jacques Cousteau due to its high biodiversity. Through our app, there will be an opportunity to select regions, localities, and beaches in a user-friendly way to see which it is environmental quality. We are currently testing local classification system applying multivariate statistics. We are integrating several variables such as marginality, demography, pollution, biodiversity, convenience stores density, among others. This will lead to the creation and improvement of public policies based on evidence with the best scientific information available. With a simple and very friendly interface from any mobile device, you will be able to capture a picture of marine trash and send it to our server. Once this is done, the system will automatically register the GPS location and will be given the option to input different fields such as name or contact information. The app will automatically send back as acknowledgement for the contribution, information about the type of captured material in the photography, as well as the producer, seller, and the distance covered from its production place to the place where the trash ended, which could be thousands of miles. The information provided by the app about the identify materials with local authorities to the recollection of this garbage and even provide local options for recycling companies depending on the type of material, in a way that the work is simple for everyone involved, thus attending the matter under a circular economy approach. Our business model, we will work to acquire people's cooperation, quantification of action cost versus government inaction, connect production chains in an agile way to facilitate the flow of information for international community. We have progressed in order to generate synergies with different productive sectors, and we have 12 interest expressions with companies such as Walmart, Coca-Cola, Colgate, or Toyota. We have failed a request to be part of the Global Partnership of Marine Leader by the United Nations. Our logo is Ocean Watchers. Our team was built to create a functional project. We are just waiting to acquire more funding in order to rapidly improve this tool. We have done the difficult part, and we are confining in having many more contributors added to the project. Are you joining us? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. We have time for one short question and answer. First of all, from the jury here. Does anybody have a question? No questions? Okay, do we have any questions from our online jury, please?
I think no question for the moment.
Okay,
sorry for that.
We have a very quick question from the floor.
Thank you. I'm aware that you've developed the interface of the app, but what kind of data you were using during the hackathon, especially digital data? Thank you.
Hey, did you get that? I think we may have lost, fortunately. Hello, Mexico, are you still there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, I hear the question. Okay, we have a lot of information in our hub, but first we started to gather all the geographic information, all the information that is generated for geographical information, and also we have gathered the information from all the trash that is generated in our country. So we started to analyze that type of data. But we are planning to gather social and economic information as well.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Mexico City. Excellent. And now I pass you to Fort-de-France. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Mathis and here is Bruno, Gypsy, Sasha and our unicorn, Liku. From the cold of Brest, let's go on a trip to the heat of Martinique. Okay, picture yourself on this beach. White sand, pristine water, the iconic diamond rock in the background. It is paradise, isn't it? Well, it was. For about 10 years now, Martinique and the area between Guyana and Mexico have been suffering to intense beaching of sargassum, seaweed, periodically transformed those places into hell. They are looked bad, smell bad, and impact the people's health. The economy of an island such as Martinique is also greatly impacted since tourism represents 10% of the island's companies. And you have a negative impact on our emblematic species and on the environment. To illustrate the magnitude of this plague, 100 million euros are spent every year for beach restoration in the Caribbean, and we are not talking about the loss of profits. So we ask ourselves how to reduce the consequences of sargassum beaching. Several needs have been identified. To beachgoers who want to save time and know if there are some sargassum on their favorite beach, to collectivities and professionals who want to save money and and anticipate where and when the cleaning is needed. So we have created SargoWays, an application to monitor, forecast, and support the management of the sargassum beaching. Today, some solution exists, but we will want a game changer. So we're proposing you an access for forecast. For forecast, double the duration of the state of the art, and the data collect is verified and improved by the user inputs and data assimilation.
So here is our front end looks like. In the app, the user can look at the forecast of his favorite beach, have access to recently collected information,
and input its own information by either providing pictures or evaluating forecasts. We'll also have access to aggregated information coming from sources such as social media and verified providers such as the French Ministry of Ecological Transition. So you may think, well, how does your model work? What's under the hood? Well, we started from a model developed at the Ocean Cleanup to forecast the plastic transport in the oceans and applied it to the Sargassum problem. We based our source model from satellite imagery, and we derived the transport of Sargassum thanks to oceanic and atmospheric models. Finally, we assimilate and verify our models thanks to the data input by user. And here is our offer. So Sargaways comes in two versions. A free version will allow a maximum number of users to have access to our reliable forecast and also take part of the monitoring community. We have a subscription-based version of Sargaways, which allows professionals and collectivities to have greater insights but with a longer duration forecast, and also to support and optimize its cleanup operations. Finally, we aim to value our dispersal engine thanks to on-demand consultancy services. Our team is composed of a fine blend of ocean scientists, web developer, sales and marketing specialists that will carry this project forward. Since the initial push of November, we've reached out to key stakeholders, we've started building our community, and also further developed the app. Where do we see ourselves in 5 years? Well, our objective is to cover the entire Caribbean basin and reach up to the Gulf of Mexico, and also expand to other ecological types of pressures. So what do we need now? So we need some beta testers that will test and fine-tune our approach. We need some ambassadors to promote our application and to feed our database with reliable data. And finally, we need a little bit of money to further develop our minimum viable product. Thanks for the Ocean Hackathon for organizing this great event. And also thanks to Lacu Digital for pushing us really hard to raise high the flag of Martinique. Thank you.
Okay, just briefly before we move on to questions, could I ask Santiago to start getting ready, please? You are up next. Any questions from our jury here, please?
So I'm still from Emmetnet. I'm not sure I understood clearly what data exactly you were using. So satellite data and others, but it wasn't clear enough.
Yeah, so we're using satellite data, so measurements, and we're also using circulation and atmospheric models, so for the 10 days forecast, obviously. And we'll also use the data collected by users, either via pictures or via evaluation of the forecast. So saying, okay, your forecast was good or bad.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any questions from our online jury, please?
I think we have no question from the jury online.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed for the fruit. I now offer the floor to Santiago.
Great.
Bonjour à tous. Buenos días a todos y todas. Good morning, everyone. We are the team representing Chile, and the title of our project is Where Are the Ghost Nets Going? Marine Species as Bioindicators of Vulnerable Ecosystems. Ocean pollution is each day worse. Billions of pounds of plastic can be found in swirling convergences that make up to 40% of the world ocean surface. So, let me ask you a question. How do you feel if you were hurt and tied up? Well, that's the gates of this city. This is why we started. And this was by a ghost net. But what are ghost nets? Ghost nets are any fishing equipment that are abandoned or lost. So let's talk about economic. Annually, $13 billion are lost in marine ecosystems due to plastic contamination. This affects all types of stakeholders, from big fisheries to small fishermen to the final consumer. And what is worst, it keeps taking lives for years because they are made of plastic. So we asked ourselves, can we describe the risk of entanglements? We found a positive correlation between chlorophyll, sea temperature, and fishing efforts. So we developed this diagram that shows that. In conclusion, we have that more productive areas seems to have more risk of entanglement. So the risk can be predicted, but we have a few observations of entanglement organisms, and ghost nets are difficult to track. So we have that problem.
But what if we could find a way to collect this information and predict entanglements more precisely? To strengthen our model and to engage people with this issue, we will develop a citizen science app that will allow reporting entanglements in different types of marine species. The information provided by users will be stored in a cloud database that will be then shared with different entities for its use in decision making. This app will display a catalog. Next one, please. Will display a catalog of different species and a short description of each one. And then users will be able to mark the specific spot where they saw the entanglement, attach a picture, and interact with other users. The costs of developing this project will be those related to collecting new data and also with the developing and marketing of the app itself. And as we'll be collecting information that is of public interest because it might be used for policymaking and decision making, we identify government institutions as potential clients. Therefore, we will seek to get public funding for developing this solution. We'll also seek collaboration, with NGOs as Costa Humboldt, a Chilean organization that aims to promote the conservation of coastal biodiversity, to whom we already engaged to work with. Our model will contribute to science, and our app will help to raise awareness and knowledge about this issue among people. But these tools also have the potential to help identifying ghost nets hotspots, to focus removal efforts to those areas, and also, for example, to applying reverse engineering to help estimate illegal fisheries among other uses. The impacts of ghost nets are still poorly understood today. With our team composed by people with marine ecology, data science, and business and marketing backgrounds, we think of this project as a tool to help us understand this issue in a deeper way. But not only that, it also has the potential to help prevent economic losses, but more importantly, thousands of lives. I wanted to thank the Campus de la Mer for organizing this event and for the opportunity of being here. And thanks everyone for your attention.
questions? Could La Rochelle getting ready, please? Okay, do we have any questions from the floor here for this team? Any questions at all?
So my question is what you have developed during the Ocean Hackathon, just the interface of the app, or you have already some data in the app?
Yes, during the hackathon, we worked with the available data. So we analyze and do the correlations, but it was very poor data because it's not very, if you search on literature, you can't find a lot of data. So our problem or our solution become a problem too. So we want to develop the application, and with the analysis we have, correlations, maybe we can do a better algorithm in the future, but we need more data. So our solution become our problem.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any questions from our jury online, please?
I think no, sorry.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Santiago. And last but not least, we have La Rochelle. Welcome.
Okay, it's supposed to have music, so don't worry. Heavy metal collector. It's not a biker gang who is coming now, just the team from La Rochelle. So my name is Nicolas. I'm from La Rochelle. I'm from INB, the Boat Institute of Brittany, and it's why I'm here with such a crazy idea and such a crazy team. 4 economic students on my right and 3 young engineers on my left. And let me introduce that subject. A boat just floating on the water, moored on the pontoon, create pollutants from antifouling with zinc, manganese, aluminum, and also with anodes, sacrificial anodes, with zinc, aluminum, manganese, and biocide with the antifouling too. The impact is very bad for environment. The idea is to reverse the trend, to make a boat more a collector than an emitter of pollutants. So what about? It's a filtration system, a sea filtration system for boats, ship, and a work boat on the coastal area and harbors. How will it work? By filtering heavy metal, filtering water from the engine cooling system. Now, I'll let Alizé tell you a bit more about the heavy metal collector.
Thank you. So for the technical feasibility, we have different points from the study of the environment to the creation of our project. So first, we have to adapt to the existing engineers. So we have the inboard and outboard. We have different dimensions. We have different filtration capabilities. And we also have to precise the filter location. At the beginning of the project, we thought it could be better before the cooling system, but now we know that it will be better after this one. One of the reasons is the availability of the system. We have to change this system easily and quickly. Then we study the existing filtration materials to choose which one will be the more adapted for our system. So we make a comparison of many heavy metal fighters to choose this one. Next, we analyze the presence of heavy metal in the sea in a geographical way and in a depth way to choose where our system will be useful. And to conclude, we determine the volume of water our system can filter and the volume of water polluted by boat to reach our final goal, which was to neutralize the emission of heavy metal by boat. So now let's talk about the economical viability of our system.
So actually, the innovation we work on doesn't need to change the market habit, but only to propose a better way, a better version of what already exists. So what is our market? Of course, the main stakeholder would be the boat engine manufacturers, because for them, these systems can be a real competitive benefit. Then, for the final customer, our filter is an answer to environmental issues. There is also legislative issues, because as you know, fish are eating heavy metals in the ocean, so we are. It has a negative impact on Earth. So now, you know the main points about the subject and the project. You can ask yourself, what is the next step? First of all, we need to find research and development financing. Then we need to create and try out the prototype. If it works, we could possibly integrate it to the circular economy with the Federation of the Nautical Industry. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much indeed. Do we have any questions from the jury, please?
Hi, Laura from CEDRE. Thanks a lot for this great project. I would have one question. So could you tell us more about the filtering technology? Is it something like ion exchange resin or I don't know, is it selective or?
So we made a lot of research on the type of filter that already exists. We based our research on the already existent one. So we found that there's already some existing filter that absorb all kind of heavy metal. It basically depends on the kinetic of the heavy metal, so that how fast the reaction between the heavy metal and the filter happens. Because when the cooling system, the water in the cooling system goes in the filter, it maybe not take enough time to get filtered. The heavy metal will not get filtered. So it basically depends on the type of the heavy metal. But we found that it could be the filter that we choose filter every kind of heavy metal.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And I can complete?
Just quickly, yes, because we're very short of time. But
Okay, we just had an interview with the Mulhouse Institute of Material, and we had an idea about zeolite, but the most important thing is now to search the kinetic of the heavy metal.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any questions from our jury online, please?
Yes, we have a question from Florence Kayoka from OFB. Which data have been used during the hackathon?
About technical data, we use many. First, for filter, we did many research about different kind of filter. But about heavy metal, we used EmoNet data. Also a study from OSPOR Commission data. And for other data, I will let...
There's also the fact that there's some kind of filter already exists, but for microplastic, not for heavy metals. So, for example, Suzuki, there's a lot of data about cooling system that could be interesting for our heavy metal filtering system, and that's based on the because it's an incremental system. We based our research on things that already exist, and the best way to filter the heavy metals with all the things that Alize said about what is the more adaptable system for the engine of the boat.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you very much indeed, Larisha.
Thank you.
Okay, before we wrap up this first part of the grand finale of Ocean Hackathon 2021, we would like to give the floor to Melissa Michaud from Respect Ocean. She will present you the second edition of Ocean Pitch Challenge, which is organized together with the Sustainable Ocean Alliance Community, SOA. Just before I pass the floor to Melissa, I would also like to say that Campus Mondial de la Mer is a partner of this second edition and will be offering 2 passes to the International Marine Science and Technology Week, or CTEC Week, to be held between the 26th and the 30th of September next year, 2022, here in Brest. So I pass you to Melissa.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the invite, and thank you to everyone for your presentations. They were inspiring. Today, I'm here to announce you that our contest, Ocean Pitch Challenge, is back in 2022. Maybe I can share my screen. It's a bit better for you. So this contest, as said before, is co-organized with the Sustainable Ocean Alliance, young-led organization, an American young-led organization that empowers young leaders of the ocean preservation. And maybe I can share my screen with you. Yes. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you. We launched this contest last year as part of our alliance in France, and we wanted to bring out and put forward economically viable solutions for the protection of the ocean and its ecosystem. We had like almost 80 applications, and the winners last year were Phoenix, AgriLoops, and Sea Proven. We were really happy of this edition, so we are back in 2022. We will allow again 10 shortlisted solutions to benefit from 1 month mentorship on how to pitch your solution, and there will be a final. And but this year we have new features. Some good news for you, because the contest will be international, so you can apply even if you're from a foreign country. And we'll reward 3 more solutions with special prices. We will have a special award for solutions for marine biodiversity in partnership with l'Office français de la biodiversité. There will be a special prize for bio-inspired solutions in partnership with Biomime Expo, Newport Conseil. And last but not least, a special prize for young shoots in partnership with SOA. we have new partners, including Campus Mondial de la Mer, which will allow winners to benefit from great endowments. So if you have a solution, if you have a project that helps preserve the ocean, apply. We are expecting you from January the 25th, and we are really welcoming you to, inviting you to apply. If you have any question, if you want to find out more about the contest or about the endowment, you can contact us. We will be happy to answer you, and you can go on our website, respectocean.com. So that's it. And thank you again to Campus Mondial de la Mer and to everyone who candidates to the hackathon today.
Thank you very much indeed, Melissa. Okay, as it says, if you're hungry, and I know I am, I'm always hungry, it's time for lunch, okay? If the jury members could now start thinking about who they're going to vote for their 3 winning teams. We will return at 2 p.m., so 1400 hours, okay, for the announcement of the 3 winners. I am told that if you want lunch, you need to go through the door up on the left and straight on, okay? I'm sure we'll all find it. Thank you very much. Have a nice lunch.
Cut them for now. Oh, there you go.
Okay, hello everybody. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. I certainly did. And thank you for the team from Santiago for hosting me at lunch. Thank you. Terrific. Very good to meet you. Okay, so most of you probably noticed that earlier this morning, our team from Boulogne-sur-Mer had a little bit of a problem. Okay, it turns out that it was quite a serious technical issue with a server probably being hacked. Okay, so what we're going to do in the interests of justice is we're going to allow Boulogne-sur-Mer to show us the data which they were not able to show us earlier. So we'll just give them a few minutes.
Thanks. I want to show you our website is our travail, our work, and I'm going to present you your demo. As a user, I will able to track all information about my bot. For example, its use value, the annual cost including the contribution to the Marina Brest and the cost of my insurance, and also track my interview book. I see here, for example, I have soon a coin to change. And I can find in the marketplace, as I pay a free of piece of the berth, I benefit from 10% saving on user part. In case of problem, I need information or also look the forum and share information with other users. At the end of life on my bot, I can go to the section Resac my bot to know the procedure to undertake the crane, the transfer, and demonstrate to my bot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Boulogne. I'm glad you were finally able to show us that information. Okay, so it's that time, everybody. The jury has been deliberating over lunch, okay? And it's finally time for the all-important results of the grand finale of the Ocean Hackathon 2021. Before they are announced, we would like to thank all of the ambassadors and everybody else involved for their generosity in providing the prizes today. Just to be clear for you all, each member of the team in third place will receive €100 for IT equipment or maritime activity. Each member of the team that is chosen in second place will receive €300 for IT equipment or maritime activity. And finally, each member of our winning team will receive no less than €600 for IT equipment or maritime activity. So without further ado, to announce the team in third place, I now invite Jérémy back, the head of campus at Mondial de la Mer, back on stage.
Hi again, Rob. Hi again, everyone. First, in fact, I would like to say to you that I was impressed by all the presentation I saw. Congratulations for all your congratulations for all the work you have done in your city, wherever you were in the world. Now I have to announce the team which is placed third or ranked third, and the city chosen is by the jury is San Francisco. If you want to, can you, is San
Hello,
Francisco, are you here?
something? We have a couple of our team members here. I know it's the middle of the night for a couple of us. So some of us are sleeping and some of us are here. I think Ariane and I are here. Thank you so much. This is such a wonderful honor. It was such an honor to be with all of these groups in this, in such good company with so many wonderful projects. So thank you very much.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, that brings us to second place. To announce our team in second place here in Brest today, I give you Juliette Rimet, project coordinator in Campus Mondial de la Mer and the organizer of today's event.
So, the second place is attributed to Cadiz San Fernando.
Juliette. Well done. Congratulations. Okay, and now for the big event. To announce our winning team, the winning team of the Ocean Hackathon 2021, I give you Mathilde Monio, also from the Campus Mondial de la Mer team, and a key part of today's event.
I'm very happy to announce the first winning team for the 6th edition of Ocean Hackathon 2021. And the first winning team is from Fort-de-France.
Congratulations. congratulations, everybody. I don't think there were any losers today, let's be honest. If the 3 winning teams would maybe like to come onto the stage for a big group photograph. So could we have the 3 winning teams back, please, so that we can take your photograph and transmit it across the world. Okay. I think it's fair to say that everybody's a winner today, so would all the teams now like to come onto the stage? Please wear your masks for one big photograph. Thank you. Everybody say cheese, as we say. Do you want everyone to jump up? No, it's up to you. Would everybody, on the count of 3, everybody jump in the air, please? Be careful with your mascots. Yeah. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Yeah, do that now, yeah. Yeah. You want me to do now? Okay, could I just have your attention before everybody runs off to the pub or whatever you're going to do? Thanks very much indeed to all of you for coming to the third grand finale of the Ocean Hackathon. Thank you for your marvellous, enthusiastic participation. We hope to see you all here next year for the next event. So thank you once again. If anybody would like to see the Oceanopolis facility, Oceanopolis has very kindly said that you can look round free of charge. If you would like to do that, please go to reception where you will be given tickets and you can view the whole facility at your leisure. Okay. And finally, if anybody is doing activities out in Brest, please meet Juliet or Mathilde at the main entrance of Oceanopolis. Thank you and happy Christmas.